Hey everyone, welcome back to our sports podcast. I'm Blair.
And I'm Serena. Let's break down that heart-stopping Toronto Blue Jays versus Los Angeles Dodgers game from November 1st, 2025, MLB World Series Game 7. What a series.
Absolutely. Where do we even begin, Serena? That game was a roller coaster of emotions, questionable calls, and some absolutely phenomenal plays. It's a game that will be talked about for years.
It truly was. Let's start with Game 6. Yamamoto's performance was huge for the Dodgers. 6 innings, only 1 earned run. After already pitching complete game gems in the previous 2 rounds. That's exactly what the Dodgers needed to keep their bullpen fresh for what everyone knew was going to be an epic Game 7.
No question. And the pressure was on him. Down 3-2 in the series, going back to Toronto, he absolutely delivered. Speaking of delivering, what about Mookie Betts finally coming through with that RBI single? Roberts sticking with him in the cleanup spot after such a slump, that's a bold move.
It was a gamble that paid off. It's easy to second-guess a manager, but Dave Roberts clearly saw something in Betts. He knew that Mookie had the potential to break out at any moment, and he wanted to give him the opportunity to do just that. Sometimes, that's all a player needs. A vote of confidence. The psychological element in baseball is so underrated.
Totally agree. In the 9th inning of Game 6, Alejandro Kirk getting hit by a pitch, Straw coming in to pinch run, and then that Barger ground rule double that seemed to rob them of a run.
Oh, that was frustrating. And the Blue Jays fans were rightfully complaining about the interpretation of that rule. Honestly, I saw Prince Fielder lumber around the bases faster than that double.
Haha, fair point. But I actually agree with the call. Ground rule double is a ground rule double. You can't make exceptions based on player speed. That's a can of worms you don't want to open.
I see your point, but it felt like it penalized the Blue Jays for having a slower runner. But okay, moving on. Roberts bringing in Glasnow, his Game 3 starter, to close it out. That's all in, right there.
Absolutely. He's playing for keeps, not worried about tomorrow. That was a statement move. And Rojas with that incredible pick at shortstop, that saved the game.
It did. Glasnow didn't make it easy, but that's why you have a defense behind you. Okay, now let's get to Game 7, the main event. Scherzer versus Ohtani. Talk about a dream matchup.
Legendary stuff. You've got the seasoned veteran in Scherzer against the game's biggest phenomenon in Ohtani. The energy in that stadium must have been insane.
It had to be electric. And Bichette jumps all over Ohtani in the 3rd. With that 3-run bomb, it was looking like the Blue Jays were going to run away with it.
They were riding high, but, the Dodgers, they're not going to just roll over.
Exactly. Will Smith starts the 4th with a double, Freddie Freeman singles, and then a bases-loaded situation develops. Scherzer was in a jam.
And then Varsho makes that incredible catch on the line drive by Teoscar Hernandez. That saved at least 2 runs, maybe 3.
A potential game changer. That catch was the difference between the Dodgers tying the game and the Blue Jays potentially extending their lead. A few inches to the left, and we're having a very different conversation.
No doubt about it. And then, of course, the bench is clear. After Lopez gets plunked, you could feel the tension rising.
Absolutely. You've got everything on the line. Guys are playing with emotion. It was bound to happen. It didn't last long, but it definitely added another layer of intensity. I felt it through the broadcast.
Me too. Savage comes in for the Blue Jays, walks Ohtani, but gets out of the inning with a double play. That's clutch.
Huge. But let's be real. Walking Ohtani there is a pretty calculated risk. You're banking on getting the next guy out, and it paid off in that moment.
Definitely. But Serena, I think Muncy tying the game in the 9th with that solo shot, that was the beginning of the end for the Blue Jays.
It was deflating, no doubt. And then Rojas hits a tying home run off Romano. Miguel Rojas. Seriously?
Unbelievable. Talk about an unlikely hero. That's why we love baseball, right? You just never know who's going to step up. You never know what he is going to do or where he is going to hit it. It is a guessing game. I do think that's what makes it exciting to play, though.
Absolutely. So clutch. Jordan Romano has been so good, I didn't expect him to give up a home run. It's like anything can happen. And then, bottom of the 9th, Snell comes in.
Vladdy flies out, Bichette singles. They pinch run for him. Barger walks. Kirk gets hit by a pitch. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Varsho at the plate.
The tension was palpable, and he grounds it to Rojas, who bobbles it. But IKF is called out at the plate. It went to review. Did Smith's foot come off the plate? The entire stadium was holding its breath.
It was agonizing. It looked close. Honestly, I thought it was going to be overturned. I am still surprised.
I thought so too. But the call stood. Huge! And then you get to Ernie Clement at the plate, and then Pages makes one of the best catches ever.
I still think he should have won the Gold Glove Award. That was an absolute robbery by Andy Pages. Kike Hernandez was in no position to make that catch. Pages saved the game.
One of the greatest catches in World Series history. Absolutely unbelievable. They bring Pages in for his defense, and he wins the game with his glove. That's baseball.
Beyond clutch. Beyond clutch. Okay, extra innings. Will Smith goes yard in the 10th. Dodgers take the lead.
And then Yamamoto comes back out in the 11th, after already winning games 2 and 6? That's insane!
Insane! That's like something out of a movie. The guy is a workhorse, and he's clearly got the mental fortitude to handle the pressure, giving up the double to Vlad. It had to be worrisome to Dodgers fans.
Absolutely. You start thinking, here we go again. But Yamamoto induces that game-ending, unassisted double play off the bat of Kirk. That's how you seal the deal.
The guy wins the World Series MVP. Talk about a statement. He is only the 4th pitcher to win games 6 and 7. The guy deserves it.
Unbelievable performance from Yamamoto. Absolutely historic. Dave Roberts deserves so much credit for how he managed that whole pitching situation. What do you think Roberts thought?
I think Roberts knew he had a special arm in Yamamoto, and he wasn't afraid to use him in any situation. He put his trust in his players, and they delivered. He's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. You have to respect that. The guy had it planned all along.
It's his faith in his players that made them successful.
Absolutely. And what about John Schneider's post-game comments? He seemed so incredibly proud of his team.
He did. You could feel the heartbreak, but also the immense pride. He kept talking about the team chemistry and how special that group of guys was.
And he specifically mentioned Bo Bichette's comeback from injury, George Springer's Canada Day home run, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s defensive improvements.
Those are all huge moments that defined their season, and you could tell he really believes in Vladdy's future with the team. He mentioned that Vladdy had 3 terrific defensive plays in Game 7 too. Schneider emphasized trust in every player, and the impact that Ernie Clement had.
Yeah, he really highlighted how much Clement contributed. It's amazing how he went from being a waiver wire pickup to a postseason hero. That's a testament to the Blue Jays scouting department and their ability to find hidden gems.
Absolutely, and Schneider praised Scherzer's performance, even at his age. That shows you how much he valued Scherzer's experience and leadership. He is the real deal, you know? No fluff. It's real.
He definitely trusts his veterans in those high-pressure situations. He also acknowledged the role of luck in the game. He said those unfavorable bounces and close calls hurt. It can be hard to swallow.
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes the baseball gods just aren't on your side. But you know what? That's baseball. You pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and get ready for next season.
Exactly. And Schneider's focus on the team's character and legacy is really important. He wants this team to be remembered for more than just wins and losses. He wants them to be remembered for the way they played the game and the bond they shared.
I couldn't agree more. The Blue Jays have a lot to be proud of, even in defeat. They played their hearts out, they left it all on the field, and they gave the fans a season to remember. But it sounds like they were more than just teammates. It sounds like they were all friends that love playing together.
Absolutely. And what about the Dodgers? Winning back-to-back World Series titles is an incredible accomplishment. You have to give credit to Dave Roberts and the entire organization.
For sure. Roberts is building a dynasty out there. I'm sure they'll be talked about for years to come. And you can't talk about the Dodgers without mentioning Ohtani. Even if his pitching wasn't up to his usual standards, his overall impact on the team is undeniable.
He's a generational talent, Serena. There's no other way to put it. He even batted leadoff in Game 7 as a pitcher. That is unheard of.
That just shows you how much the Dodgers value his offensive contributions. They're willing to break all the norms to maximize his impact on the game.
Exactly. So overall, that Toronto Blue Jays versus Los Angeles Dodgers game was an absolutely thrilling World Series Game 7 because it had everything. Clutch hits, incredible defensive plays, controversial calls, unlikely heroes, and a nail-biting finish that went down to the wire. It's a game that will be talked about for years to come, and it just solidifies baseball as the greatest sport on earth.
Agreed. So overall, that Toronto Blue Jays versus Los Angeles Dodgers game was an absolute classic because it had everything you could want in a World Series Game 7 drama, star power, and an ending that no one could have predicted.
That's our take on this game. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.